What's going on, Yahoo Finance fam? Now, you already know me. You know, I don't do boats, I don't do cruises. However, I'll do a yacht, especially if we get the invite from Gary Vaynerchuk here with us on Yahoo Finance. Thanks so much for taking some time.
Thank you for having me.
We're here at Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity.
Yes.
There's a lot of creative folks here, but you are among the creme de la creme out here in Cannes, France. When you think about so many of the conversations that are taking place, people would love to be a fly on the wall in the conversations that you're having out here. What is one of the themes that's sticking out to you, a through line in some of those conversations?
I think the thing that, especially this audience, which I think is very business-minded, would be fascinated is the advertising industry is incredibly detached from the actual business results. I think that the industry is very good at yesterday and tomorrow. So I'm sure what you have felt is yesterday and tomorrow. A lot of people want to talk about the creativity of the TVC ads, and then they want to talk about tomorrow. AI is being thrown around here all day, 24/7.
You think it's all hype?
No, I think AI is one of the most important things in the world right now, but I think the ad world, when they talk about AI, is not like the tech world. They're talking about it in a hyperbolized way without really understanding the tech. And so today's marketing world is being great at creative in social media. Social media is building brands, yet there's no talk of social media creative here. There's talk about television commercials that nobody watches, and there's talk about AI that's not fully here yet. And so I think that to sum it up, there's a really interesting thing happening here, which is the big opportunities for entrepreneurs and small businesses and private equity owned brands is the biggest brands in the world are missing the mark, and in that is the opportunity and the arbitrage for the competitors.
Which brands are doing it well?
What's hard about that is, the truth is that the answer is not too many. I will say that Chipotle, somebody that we don't work with, that I could see from the outside, that has made a huge commitment to social and culture, is doing a nice job. They stand out, but you know, from my filter, people that are allocating all their money to brand work that's not being seen, or programmatic digital banner ads that no one's consuming, it's hard for you to do it well. What Chipotle's done well is they've made an actual commitment to social media creative. I think Wendy's talking about a couple QSRs that, and think about those companies, they can see the results on the day.
Right.
They have stores.
Yeah.
And so DTC brands, QSRs, but some of these consumer packaged good brands, car brands, automotive, like these big brands, they continue to buy into Don Draper, and he's been dead for a long time.
Yeah. And so as you think about going forward from here, where brands are creating cultural relevance, because that's been one of the key talking points for many CMOs.
But they don't do
out
that,
here.
my man.
How are they missing the mark there then?
Let's break the fifth wall here, or whatever it's called. What brand drives culture? Maybe in their product.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
LVMH, Nike, you got brands that Apple, they bring, but in their ads? Tell me about the ad that crushed culture. We had one with when Dwayne Wade retired. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
We did that Budweiser ad that everybody on earth saw. You can only break culture if you make videos that don't look like commercials. What commercial? Do you understand that they are spending the majority of their money on commercials and banner ads? Tell me right now, anyone watching, what commercial or banner ad broke culture?
Right.
They break culture through their products, a watch, a sneaker, that they can break culture. They break culture in the form of an activation occasionally. They like did it proper at F1 Miami, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Things like that, activations. But through their advertising,
right.
It's a joke. They don't break culture. We're not living in the, you know, where's the beef? The just do it. Right. The Spike Lee and Michael Jordan commercial, that doesn't exist today.
It's gotta be the shoes.
That doesn't exist today because
Yep.
we don't watch television commercials. Yet this industry's infatuated with starting there because the agencies make a lot of money selling those.
Certainly. As you think about even going forward from now, we've been having a lot of discussion about if generative AI is having its cell phone type of moment as a multiplier on how we live our everyday lives. Do you see us hitting that anytime soon?
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I mean, it's definitely going to hit. It's hit for entrepreneurs, solo creators, small businesses. For the big brands here, even though I have a lot of anxiety to the way they advertise, I'm empathetic that they haven't gone there yet because I think there's a lot of copyright and trademark issues on the generative creative hitting the world that I do think the biggest brands in the world are being thoughtful and thinking through properly. But yeah, it's going to allow for a lot of output.
You're a serial entrepreneur. You've started so many businesses or invested remotely or just counseled businesses on how to do better. What's your next big investment?
The truth is, I'm not sure, and I think that's my strength. I don't want to force the issue. Today, I said that I think social media creative and ads is like the way to go. But in 6 years, I might be like, are you crazy? Why aren't you doing this VR stuff? This is now overpriced. Television commercials were on point in 1979. In the same way of how I think about big investments, I'm not sure. Because don't forget, it's a combination of the entrepreneur and the space.
Right.
You know, yeah, I've been looking at AI startup for 3-4 years. But you have to find the right entrepreneur to go along with that. She or he has to show me the capacity of being able to adjust along the way.
Right.
There's a lot of variables to investing in the early stage the way I do, which may be a little bit different than some of the audience. So, but it's about staying curious and staying to the pulse of the actual pop culture and consumer that is very important for me. And so that's kind of where my mindset's at.
You know, I'm naturally looking at all of your investments that come through, and pickleball sticks out to me. That's one you made last year.
Yeah.
Pickleball is having an explosive moment right now. So, next 5-10 years, is pickleball the sport that everybody is playing that has no skill at anything else? If some have said, if you don't have skill, play pickleball, but it still requires a lot of skill.
People saying no skill pickleball is like people saying like engineering, building websites wasn't important. Like, you know, like, oh, you're building websites? You mean the engineers of the internet that all made trillions of dollars at Apple and Facebook and Google? You need real skill to be a good pickleball player.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who play basketball with bad skill to be one of the best basketball players in the world. So I think to the point of basketball, why it became so popular, because you could really play in a lot of places from inner city. You know, hockey's expensive.
That is. Golf
so
is expensive.
Golf is expensive. So there are millions of people who do not have the income levels to do that. Basketball became popular because we could all play.
Yes.
Even though the way some of us grew up in the dirt, right? Pickleball's going to have that same phenomenon. It's so easy as a cost of entry to play. And that became another example of what I believe in. What I do is I pay attention. If you think that if we were doing this 3 years ago and you said, what's your next big investment? And I would have said pickleball, I would have laughed you out of the room. But I watch.
Yeah.
I watch. And when I saw what was happening with how many people were playing and how much fun a 68-year-old grandma was having with her way more athletic 18-year-old grandson, and it was competitive, and the cost of entry, and then when I watched how people were consuming it on social and YouTube, and I watched that the Madison Square Garden numbers at midnight when they were airing it were way better than they should have been.
Yeah.
I'm watching, I'm quantifying, and I'm looking at the qualitative data. I can't believe, Twitter, I can't believe I like pickleball. I played pickleball for the first time, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gathering, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this has a chance. I'm not naive though, 99.9% of leagues fail. But I was like, this could be that.
Yeah.
And obviously Major League Pickleball has had a real moment. It's really happening, and look, it's hard to become a predominant sport in culture, but pickleball is already, as a sport, further along than many things that have come along in the last 30 years that have died. Major League Pickleball's already further than the XFL.
Right.
And so it's happening.
You're plugged into so many business conversations, and I got to hustle till my finish here, but as we hear from some of the CEOs right now, they're all concerned with the reality of a possible recession this year. They're battening down the hatches, they're changing their spending. Is that something that you're hearing from them as well, and
Yes.
what are you advising?
This is why I'm so frustrated here. We can't waste money on dumb ads. We don't have the luxury of it anymore.
No.
My energy comes from the CEOs. I'm just trying to get the CMOs to understand why it's so hard to keep a job as a CMO. We need results. For the Yahoo Finance crowd, this ad world plays in banana fake land. They have to get more serious about where brand is built, social. They need to measure actual business results, not fake reports or awards. We need a new world order in marketing. Otherwise, their budgets are going to continue to get cut because it's not working.
Yeah. Gary, we appreciate the time here
Thank you,
today.
man.
Thanks for
Stay
inviting us aboard here. I'm going to try not to, maybe I'll go for a swim. Who knows? Why not?
See you,
Thanks
everyone.
so much, guys.